I purchased a shower curtain from Amazon of a map of the United States. And I'm using this as a prayer flag to paint my prayers on throughout the remaining months of 2020. When I put the map up, the first thing that triggered me was the statement, United States of America. And so that was the first element that I wanted to shift on this map. I tried using my marker pens to shift the energy, and they just were not heavy duty enough. So now I'm going for the big guns, and I have some acrylic paint here, and I'm gonna see how this works on my outdoor prayer flag. I've realized that the states of America are not united. This pandemic has really shown that in so many ways. And I want to bring in some love prayers to this nation through these times, to become more united in care and compassion and respect towards ourselves, towards humanity, towards the earth, towards the other than human realms, to come together in sustainable, collaborative ways that support spirit and soul for all. That love that we're all seeking and wanting becomes available the more we connect, the more we collaborate, the more we come into unified compassion. Calling this prayer in. There we have it. My first initial painting on my prayer flag, bringing in love, honoring my cohorts in New York and in Denver, my home base, and in Southern California. I look forward to writing prayers on this throughout the summer. This will be a lovely medicine for me. And another layer of prayer is coming alive on my prayer flag. My middle world apprenticeship, the color orange, found its way in this, what I guess is now going to be a heart chakra medicine wheel. And I really enjoyed working with the concept of ice in the word apprenticeship. And the sun just happened to be right where I was writing that. And so this apprenticeship vow of light emission. And then I had some more orange left over, and I saw this boot and the heel of the boot. And so pulling in the word healing, foundation, healing the foundation, healing our foundation with the earth, with our body. And I thought I would play with this boot to bring in some roots of a tree and see if I can ground that down. And as some of that thinking is this underworld aspect that the planet's going through right now. Some roots. Oh my gosh. It's such an act of just like commitment to just paint on this. Like, well, what if I mess up? They're roots, Raven.
topsoil of nutrients that grows our food roots down into the soil. And these roots of the trees that give us oxygen, root down around rocks and even root down into underground water systems, underground rivers and such. Wow, it's really powerful to paint over this. In Texas, I have charge around Texas as a state, and my time living in Oklahoma. So I love kind of shifting this. Yeah. And this tree grows up. Right? Grows up. And it's a highway. Sap and sugars and breath for the planet. I love how that highway just starts to go up into this 66. Route 66. See the trees going up into this highway route. I have a foundation in Oklahoma. It's where some of my biological family stuff comes into play. And that's like a highway, 666 kind of highway, but also a sacred wound, right? And there's this heartland, very orthodox, conservative, Christian, family stereotype around this area, right? That's a highway. I have no idea why there's a hot dog here for Colorado and New Mexico. So I'm gonna see if I can't. New Mexico. Wow, I do a lot of my middle world ceremony down in New Mexico. I do. That's a highway in my life. So we got some highways. We have this tree of life. It's extending up. And there's this Mount Rushmore. There's these very patriarchal, masculine, male influences that are part of this highway, right? This Route 66, this highway that runs through our country, its history and its story. And I'm in Colorado. Ta-ta-da-da. I'm in it. I am in my middle world extension. It's not that patriarchy or matriarchy is good or bad. It's more about the balance between the two. Calling on the medicine and magic of each of those models. So then if it's a balance, is it truly a patriarchy or a matriarchy? Because if it's imbalance, it wouldn't have one of those titles, would it? No, I don't think so. I've done a lot of healing on my family dynamics. It's a big highway in my life. This New Mexico, huh? there's such a highway of history with the American Indians and the Anzania and that highway of indigenousness, right? It stretches throughout this region that I'm living in. And I'm indigenous to the planet and the elements, and nature and culture are parts of my indigenous roots and branchings, right? So I've got I was so triggered by the boot that was here, and I'm already triggered by Texas and Oklahoma, so really wanting to honor the underground roots of all of that element and really name that bridge of the middle world that bridges the upper and the lower, and how that does expand up and out into some of the patriarchal stories. And there was a highway, Route 66. It's like this highway from the underworld up into the upper world, and then the upper world is the highway down. And so bridging that middle world alignment. Yep. So I've got, the farmland highway and the patriarchal, governmental, societal, cultural. Not quite sure what the hot dog represents, but it's going to be gobbled up into something. But here's the next stage of my Middle World Apprenticeship prayer flags for these times.